Hi, I'm Daniel, and We Bear Bears got a spin-off show, but this time they're babies. While it is a common trope to make characters babies in a spin-off, that often isn't good. With We Bear Bears, it makes more sense because there are episodes with the original focus on them as babies. However, this isn't an extension of them episodes having more magical elements over down-to-earth stuff, but it still could be good. This video is looking at a new Cartoon Network show, which I don't do much, but I decided because I already talked about the franchise twice before, I might as well watch and review this show. I watched the first episode, but I know there's more coming. There might even be more released when this video is out. But once I will start with the animation. You can see a more anime influence with the facial expressions sometime. This can fit the original because there was references to the more chibi art style, but it's very different. The original is more simplistic, but this is more vibrant. The outlines are thinner to make the characters stand out more, and it goes over the top with clarity all the time. And it manages to fit the show it's from, but it seems like when designing most faces, they made it really light. I think it looks quite good, but it could be quite distracting. The story of We Baby Bears in most episodes is the bears try and find a home in a new place. The audience knows they won't stay there because it's a prequel except not to another show. Bears always end up not staying there, often for bad reasons. There is barely a reason they came in an episode, probably because they wrote themselves into a corner. Waiting to see how it fails is what I'm thinking through every episode, which is why the formula is bad. Phineas and Ferb is great despite the formula, not because of it, but it still is entertaining although you know Candace and Doofus can't win. Even with so many episodes, it is barely pulled down by the formula. It is also clever how Doofus' inventions will tie to the main plot. In contrast, We Baby Bears shows the flaws of having a formula, because there's not much ways you can make it so the bears don't stay. So will eventually start repeating. The show has beyond storytelling and there isn't time to cause interest in the new world of that episode. It is a bad spin-off because it doesn't continue from the original. It has our three main characters but nothing else to the point where it should be a completely original show. Instead trying to tie into an existing property. There was potential for this show, but it's not good with generic stories. The most recent episode, Bug Saves Youth, is very predictable, same with most of the worlds they go into. Traveling through Yota's crazy world isn't faithful to the original set pieces, making this feel majorly different to the thing it's based off. Episodes start to blend together so much that I don't even have a best or worst episode, but I do have a most interesting episode, which is Meat House. First off, eating the meat turns you into meat, which half confirms the house is made of people who used to be people. That's what this episode implies happens. It also has a false message about vegetarians not being weak, which pauses the story just to say this. There's also Panda's mother who we see for the first time in a flashback. Then this character looks like he came from Hanna-Barbera. He might be one, I don't know. I'm done with the story section. The intro is fine, but it's a bit over the top, especially compared to the Will Be There intro that caught on for being likeable. Now characters. Gris is the main one, but it's not obvious here. He is more like his original Baby Bear self for being less about fitting in since he's young. Panda is still the scared and cautious one, but why not have his phone as a baby? The adult version of the Bears takes place in mid-to-late 2000, so the Baby Bear timeline takes place around the 90s. Christmas movies helps to prove this by being in a VHS store with all the movie references, but this is rewriting the timeline. This is a different show, unlike what The Simpsons did in that 90s show. Bear retains his old personality, but talks way too much. He wasn't originally Furby for a one-line episode, but he still barely talked. How my second Phineas and Ferb mention this video. Here, he still talks a yeast, but there's probably more than one line per minute, using his wise and stoicness from before. Maybe Iceberg from the original didn't even talk, so it seems even more frequent. It might just be that I don't like Iceberg's new voice. New locations showcased here could be interesting, but it barely gets any time for expansion. The original had the same recurring characters and mostly stayed around one town, which was a home. Chloe, Nom Nom, Raider Tame, Sharye, and even characters who only appear in a couple episodes like Daryl. And the human version of the bears are mostly great characters because there's multiple episodes to show their personality. That was down to earth, while this changes things but I'll realise what made We Bear Bears to begin with. It also isn't funny when the original was part comedy. It has some charm, but that might just be because I know these characters, and while I probably am comparing it too much to the original, it is part of the same franchise. Even without that, the problems are still there. It's just something way better that exists for comparison that is very different in approach. The characters are simplified even more, but they are still there, making some enjoyment. If I wasn't so critical, this could be a good show to react to, but all I see when watching it are its flaws. In conclusion, I give We Baby Bears 4 out of 10 from what I have seen. It misses a lot and shows the problem having a formula. It retained some things, but it's closer to a 3 than a 5. I don't want to come off as overly negative because while the idea had flaws, I was mainly hopeful on this because it was announced before the original's end. However, it fails and I don't want to watch any more of this show. The original We Bare Bears is great, which is why I brought it up so much, and so far 2/3 of my videos on this franchise are negative. I have another idea for a positive video, but the only other topic I can discuss is my problems with the movie. I hope you enjoy me reviewing a newer show, it won't be a common thing. The end.